Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. A little early on the comeback, but we're just excited here to get to the Nemesis League action as we have Genesis taking on Kiwis. I'm Rockman back in the booth, joined by Mealy. And Mealy, we got another exciting one coming our way here. I mean, we had the novices; they played on Monday. Well, this is the first novice stream match of the season.
Yeah, I love novice. I don't know what it is. If it's, like just the lower MMR players, or honestly, I just feel like some of the novice guys are the nicest people I've ever met too. It's just so wholesome. But I love watching novice league. Also, yeah, some people like count out novice and think, oh, it's not that competitive. Like, oh, there's so much lower MMR. These guys like put up a fight. I feel like every single time I've casted on stream, and it's been an insane series. So if it's anything like that, especially knowing some of these players that are going to be, on stream for us here, putting on a show, it should be a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get some Novice League action underway. We do want to give a couple of quick shout outs before we get things rolling. A big shout out to Jack Soy coming back for 41 months and also Dr. Shadow coming back for 18. I appreciate the resubs and the support to all of you guys. But yeah, this is gonna be an intriguing one, Mealy. Both these teams already playing a match so far this season. Coming into this one, I know one thing. I'll let you talk a little bit maybe about the rosters here. I do have to say one thing. No skinny legend for Genesis for this match. Unfortunately, wasn't feeling too well. So wishing him all the best. Hopefully Genesis can pull it out for him. But yeah, what do you see about these two rosters and what we might be able to expect in this matchup?
Ooh, well, first of all, thanks for that insider info there. So Skinny Legend, the top sell for Genesis, not going to be there. But that second guy that's listed there, Rocker Man, I mean, he's a Nemesis veteran. Also, an awesome caster. Love the guy. He's chunk light. I feel like he's got he's got what it takes to lead this team in Skinny Legend's absence. And honestly, I feel like that entire Genesis roster has what it takes. I don't really know the T7L person or Zen Zen, but you did tell me that Zen Zen being their lowest roster, she is got a lot on her play going today. I don't know if she played on Monday, but regardless, if your name has Zen in it, I'm just assuming that you're an absolute god slash goddess of a player. On the opposite end, we have Mystic Kiwi. Fits the name. It's the Kiwis. Speaking of Kiwis, Dr. Shadow apparently trying to buy his team a win with the sub. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to find out. Royalty, I do know, is a friend of Shadow, who also, by the way, is not returning, as Shadow did move up to Prospect. But Royalty filling in as well, was here last season, knows how to win, knows all about that, all about how the Kiwis like to play. Jolly Rogers, another Nemesis veteran as well, coming from Acceleration, who is not a team anymore. I can't remember. I'm sure you can tell me what team took over for Acceleration.
It's actually this Genesis team that took over
It's
for
just Genesis
Acceleration.
team.
So that's where Chunk Lake came from. Chunk Lake and Jolly Rogers teammates last season. Only able to retain one. Jolly Rogers wanted to go to the draft. He actually told me, I guess I'm maybe leaking a little bit, he wanted to go to the Vandals, but ends up here on the Kiwis. But we did end up re-signing Chunk Lake. So that's an interesting turn about this one. Former teammates going at it.
Yeah, the story writes itself. We literally do not come up with this. It just happens on its own. So that's going to be something to look out for. Is there possible revenge? Maybe. I don't even know. I don't know if you can even really consider it revenge, since Genesis took over for Acceleration. But who knows? There might be some bad blood. There might not be. Regardless, though, we have an insane two rosters here going at it. And yeah, like, I'm super excited. Like I said, I love novice league play. I think it's really fun to watch. And, I never ever count them out of anything. I've seen some of these guys hit some absolute banger clips, double taps, flip resets. Some of y'all might be thinking, how's that 1200 hit a flip reset? Like, you don't know until you get scored on by a 1200 and you get like humbled real fast.
Hey, yeah, no, you'd be surprised. I mean, some of these people, I think that's the great thing about Nemesis Melee is you get a lot of different styles of players. There are some players that, have gotten, just solely just grinded mechanics. Like you mentioned, like these just flip resets, double taps, air dribbles, like just these crazy, insane mechanics. But they don't know the first thing about a rotation. What the heck is a rotation? That's what I've seen. You got on the other hand, people that only know rotations. Like me. What the heck is a mechanic? How do you do a flip reset? I don't know. But I'm hoping some of these people can show us what they got, as it looks like they're joined into the lobby, just about ready to get things underway.
Yeah, I will say it makes for some great gameplay, and like I said before, I think we're in for a real treat here. I do want to ask right before, because I feel like we did it a little bit late last time, so I want to make sure we get an actual full a look at it here. And I know you're biased, but so try to take all bias out of it. But what team do you have winning, and what do you think the actual like game score is going to be, series score?
Ooh, I think this is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good series. I think the Kiwis might have a little bit of an edge with no skinny legend, but I think Genesis is gonna surprise some people here in this one. So I'm gonna go 3-2. I think we might have a novice league banger on our hands. I think it'll be a close one. Gonna really need Chunk Light to go crazy on Genesis, in my opinion, but I think I'm gonna go 3-2 Genesis in this one. No bias, of course, but we'll have to see as the predictions are up. But who are you taking in this one, Mealy?
So I will say I was originally gonna go 3-1 Kiwis, right? But then you said the game 5, and you know what? For the first novice stream game of this season, it is fitting, and with the rosters in the story, it is fitting that this series goes to 5. So I'm also gonna say 3-2, but I do have to give the edge over to my division fellows over in Kiwis. I love Dr. Shadow. I love the fruit people, as I call them. They're about to go crazy, and they're gonna go slashing away.
Alrighty, well, we'll see if those Fruit Ninjas and these Kiwis can find their second victory of the season. It looks like we got everyone locked and loaded on the pitch, all ready to go for our first Novice League stream match of the season. It is Genesis taking on the Kiwis, and it's Jolly Rogers with the very first goal of the Novice season.
Are you experiencing any deja vu, Rockerman? Because I am. Talking about last series when a goal happened in the first 10 seconds. Here we go again. This Kiwis roster put one in early. Is this going to be a trend, though, that continues? Or is this just kind of a first game mishap?
Yeah, we're going to have to see. That was a great kickoff there set up, and a tough opportunity as this one is going to be shot in. And wow, these Kiwis, they are wasting no time at all. That's 2 goals in 10 seconds here.
Yeah, I just want to shout out this goal explosion, by the way, as well. Kiwi with the fruit goal explosion. It's on brand with the whole fruit ninjas. And magnificent goal. Great placement there by Kiwi.
Yeah, and a couple of kickoffs that really didn't go Genesis's way here in this first game, making their first return. And oh my gosh, what is happening in 17 seconds? And we have 3 goals off the kickoffs. And I mean, wow, this is a crazy start.
17 seconds in, 3 goals, all from different players on the same roster, by the way. I think they all got one here already in this game. Hey, if there's any way to start a game, it's that. But hey, maybe take the rest of this time. And first of all, I do want to say, like, no game is ever, like, completed, especially only 30 seconds in. And there's something that I like to say, Rocketman, right? It's if you're going to allow 3 goals on you in the first 30 seconds, that just means you have 4.5 minutes to score 3 goals back.
Yeah, that's very true. It could be a very high-scoring game, and see if Genesis can battle back. And I think they've done the most important part here, which is survive the kickoff. As Royalty is going to find a bump there. Zen, she's going to send it down. Looking for T7 there. This one popped up, a big opportunity, a big miss. And Genesis, look at that tree goal explosion. You talk about the fruit goal explosion. How about the tree coming through?
Man, I need a Griffin's goal explosion or something regarding the Pantheon as soon as possible. Someone let me know whenever that actually comes in the game. Regardless, so a great shot coming out there from the Genesis team. And again, like I said, I mean, we're only 1 minute, technically not even 1 minute into this game yet. And oh my goodness, Rocketman. Oh, what a save from Chunk Light, keeping his team alive. It is only a 2-goal game. There's still plenty of time to get it done.
Yeah, no, Genesis going to find their very first goal of this series. And yeah, a lot of time left in this one. That's going to be sent back in the Genesis end. T7 going to find a touch. Royalty coming through. This one going to be popped up. Going to be thrown off the side there. Zen, she's going to find that touch. Kiwi not quite able to get to that one. This ball a little bit awkward at the Genesis end. They're trying to get it out here. Jolly Rogers there. That one going to push across the middle. Zen going to bang that one down. Kiwi forced to try to find that touch. The ball pops down the midfield. Could be a big shot. A nice demo. A nice shot on net, but Royalty, good placement, able to make a good save there. As this one sent up high, Jolly Rogers is going to clear it down the pitch. T7 going to push that one towards the net there. Miss comes through. T7 dropping it down. Opportunity. Zen looking to take control. Trying to find a dribble. Looking for the flick there. Nice little play. but not quite able to get that one on target here as Genesis looks like they really want to try to slow down this pace here, Mealy, and try to take it slow.
Yeah, after surviving the kickoff onslaught that came out of Kiwis, honestly, this Genesis team's looking a lot more comfortable, Rocker Man. Like you said, they're taking possession, taking things slower. They're taking control of this game, actually. Kiwis' roster is just kind of putting on crazy, touching crazy shots on net, but this Genesis roster is able to pretty much combat that and just defensively stop anything the Kiwis throw at them now.
Yeah. We'll just forget about the first 17 seconds, and then hey, they're winning 1-0. So we'll just forget about that. But right now, Genesis trying to hold on as they're finding themselves in their own back end here. This one gonna be pinched out. T7 gonna try to find it. This one sent back towards Ned Zen. Gonna find the touch off the wall. This one popped out. Kiwi trying to send it in, looking for the shot on net. And Jolly Rogers coming out of the net. Where did he come from?
Charlie Rogers stealing this goal from Kiwi like the Grinch who stole Christmas. What a play coming out from the Kiwis, giving them another 3-goal lead yet again.
Yeah, that one, he did steal it right away. It wasn't going in, but hey, when you get into league play matches, you want to secure it up. And he was able to lock that one in, give it the Kiwis a 3-goal lead yet again. As this one, it can be controlled by Zen. The ball, 15, off the ceiling. Jolly Rogers trying to come through. Can't quite find that touch. It's Kiwi. Gonna throw it off the corner. Chunk finding a 50. That one pops out. Zen with an opportunity. Gonna bang it down. Royalty was waiting, though. T7 gonna find this one. Looking to try to push down the midfield. The ball gonna be pinched out. Chunk looking to take this one. Gonna try to send it off the wall, off the corner there. This one is gonna be cleared a long way. A minute and a half remaining. The ball out of the midfield. Chunk able to stop it. Zen look to try to turn. Nice little touch going to come out across there, but Genesis not quite able to follow. This one dropped down. Kiwi going to throw it off the backboard. Shunk going to be beat out by his former teammate. A little bump coming through. Former teammate Love right there, but it's going to be sent off to the side. And a minute 15 remaining here. Genesis down by 3. Just looking for something as a nice little play there. Wait a minute. T7 going to get it by 2. Nice little flick. Trying to stay with it. Can they get it down to the midfield? Not quite, but Mealy, Genesis still find themselves down by 3. Trying to see if they can find any momentum.
Yeah, down 3 with a minute left. It would take, honestly, a lot to get this game back tied. Perhaps you might start to think, what can we do now to prepare for this next game? As Jolly Rogers is going to sink the open net for Kiwis, given a 4-goal lead. But if I'm Genesis here, Rockerman, I'm thinking, what can we do to improve for the next game? I think they had the formula. They were going pretty well, actually. And you said before, take away the 3 goals at the very beginning, right? This is a completely different game, or game 1 we're talking about. I think maybe they got, caught up a little bit, got a little nervous at first, but then they started to settle in. Honestly, they looked pretty good. So I think, in this game too, when, they're really settled down, I think we're going to see a little bit more coming out of them.
Yeah, no, definitely probably some nerves coming through here, as I believe T7 and Zen both new to Nemesis this season. So hopefully Chunk can try to be that rock as they try to battle back here in this series. As speaking of that rock, Chunk trying to find that one, but a nice block by Royalty as Zen is sending this one towards the net. Chunk trying to get in the way. He's just going to fake it out. Royalty was waiting. Good idea on him to be ready for that one, as Zen still trying to push that one through. Nice little pass come down, but not able to put it through. This one blocked off to the corner, and that one is going to result in a Kiwis victory. Genesis looking for one for the road, but it's going to be blocked off. Going to touch the ground, and the Kiwis with that early quick outburst going to take game number 1.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I'm sure that didn't feel too good if you're the Genesis roster, getting scored on 3 times in the first 20 seconds of the game. It definitely kind of kills the mood a little bit into that game 1, but you can't let that get the most of you, or get the better of you, rather. You just got to go into this next game, kind of think to yourself, hey, it's 0-0, like, that game didn't matter, we're throwing it out, let's go and let's go play our game. And they kind of established, and we talked about it, their game seems to be a lot more slow paced and a lot more calm and methodical, and I think that's how they're going to get their opportunities. As they did have some shots on target, and they actually had a really good goal as well, compared to the Kiwis, who seem like their niche, if you will, is they're just like going all out. They're just all jumping at the ball, just trying to hit the ball, make it awkward, play fast, and they want to make this Genesis roster feel uncomfortable. But if the Genesis roster says, hey, do what you want to do, we're just going to stay cool, calm, collected, I think they have a really good shot at the second game.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's a battle of paces here and styles. As yeah, you mentioned the Kiwi style seems to be all out, dive at everything. Let's outspeed them here. But Genesis, they were trying to play it slow, and once they kind of settled down a little bit, seemed to work out. But as we head into game number 2, we're gonna have to see if they can bounce back here, see if that controlled play style can lead them to a game 2 victory. And his opening kickoff is gonna go the way of the Kiwis. Royalty trying to send this one down, looking to find it in, but not going to be able to put it on net here. And for the moment there, as Chunk's going to take it across here, Genesis has survived the opening kickoff, and Chunk, he's trying to find a goal of his own. A nice drop down there, but Royalty is going to touch it off to the side. So, hey, you know what, Mealy? I'd say so far for Genesis, mission accomplished.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting the looks they want. Chunk had a great air dribble, attempt, and it resulted in a really good favorable 50. They spilled the ball out middle, so unfortunately no one was able to get there to connect on it. But yeah, they're getting the looks that they want so far, and they're making this Kiwis team look a little bit awkward because they want to play fast and they're not allowing them to.
Yeah, no, they're able to find one. Chunk couldn't quite put it in. Is this one a very dangerous ball going to be pushed across the net by Mystic? But Genesis going to try to send it back in. The Kiwis looking to get back on that offense that they had. Zen gonna grab that corner boost. Jolly gonna pop this one up to midfield. Chunk trying to get to that one. Gonna send that one a long way. Mystic gonna throw that one off the backboard. Is there a follow-up attempt? It's dropping down in front of the net. Chunk trying to block it there. Not quite gonna go on target, as this one is gonna be cleared out. Genesis almost able to find that lead there, but instead Kiwis now on the counter. Jolly right into Chunk. This one's sent back down. Pushed away again by Mystic. Zen gonna come through for this one. Nice 50. Gonna pop out. Chunk gonna push that one a long way. Chunk now looking to give chase, trying to get a middle for a teammate. It's coming across the net, but that one is gonna be blocked away. There is Chunk again looking to take to the air, trying to find that. And I mentioned Chunk as as that captain, as that leader, trying to step up, and we've seen a couple of solo play attempts from him in this game.
Yeah, as that Nemesis veteran and honestly Novice League veteran as well, he's been in that prospect novice range enough to understand what it takes to win these games and what he has to do. As a great play coming out from this Genesis roster 2 minutes into this game too, and a very critical first goal for them.
Yeah, an awkward ball off the backboard, and T7 is just waiting, gonna put it in the bottom right. And that's a dangerous place, Mealy, in the Novice League. That backboard, if you throw it up there, a lot of times good things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like we said, as, Zen's got to get back for this. Thankfully, she does. But yeah, like the Genesis team, they got what they wanted. It was a great 1-2 play. Throw it off the backboard, let your teammate and clean it up. That's exactly what they want, and that's exactly what they got. And look, it resulted in a goal. Now, just don't get too impatient. I kind of said the same thing about our last series. Just don't get impatient as well, if you can't score. And that goes for both teams here.
Oh, is this one a big opportunity? It's going to go in almost. Going to be saved away, but Genesis comes through. It's T7. He scored all the goals here, set up by Chunk Light.
Yeah, that Chunk Light to T7 connection seems like it is brewing up. 2 goals now in the second game. That's exactly what this roster needed, and I'm kind of excited to see what's in store for us here in the near future.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes here, just past halfway. Genesis gonna take a 2-goal lead here, as this one gonna be blocked off the backboard. Jolly trying to get to that one, he can't find the touch, and that one just put it in reverse, Chunk Light, and put it in the net.
What happened here, Rocker, man? It was a great 50 with Chunk. I think Royalty and Jolly Rogers, unfortunately bumped each other going for the same ball. Chunk Light saying, oh, hey, thanks, I'll take that any day. This is the opposite of what happened last game. Obviously it wasn't in the first 20 seconds, but we see Genesis up 3-0 now. This is a completely different game as Chunk Light gonna get another goal, and Genesis going up 4-0 now, Rocker, man.
Yeah, and the Genesis, they're coming out strong here. That one, an awkward bounce off the corner. Good kickoff by Chunk. Good follow. Just do it all yourself there, kid. He's gonna send it in the back of the net, 4-0. And yeah, they have really found the offense in this game. And, we expect a little bit slower, a little bit more controlled, but they are putting on that offense as Chunk is setting this one up, trying to find a touch there. Zen is going to dive through, but a 4-goal lead here, trying to tie this series back up. Definitely some great signs of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what we said before, right before the game. Like anything can happen. If you're watching this series in that first game, I'm sure a lot of people were probably thinking, "Oh no, Kiwis got this one easily in the bag." The 3 kickoff goals in the first 30 seconds. Like surely this is going to be a quick sweep, just like that last series was. But here we go in game 2. Genesis now saying, "Hey, we can put up that same exact pressure. We can get kickoff goals too, and we can absolutely smoke you guys the same way you guys did to us."
Oh, is that one a nice little outlet pass attempt there? Zen couldn't quite get it on target, but yeah, Genesis, the offense is cooking right now, is forcing a double commit on the net there. And this one gonna be pushed back out, gonna be sent a long way. Chunk is gonna block it a minute 14. Kiwis trying to find something here towards the net, but Zen gonna send that one off to the side here. Mystic looking to find another. The ball is just up in the midfield, but Jolly can't quite put it on. It's gonna allow Chunk Light to take control here. Looking to send this one up, trying to find that flip reset. Gonna find a 50 instead, as this ball is still floating up high. Could be a big opportunity. Zen, good speed to get up there. And here comes T7, looking for the shot there. Royalty is gonna push it away here and block that one off. And something I do want to say, Amelia, we mentioned the absence of Skinny Legend, and Zen here, the lowest MMR in Novice League at 1100. Is this one gonna go in? Anyway, speak her name, and she shall appear there. She's actually doing a really good job filling in for Skinny, I feel like.
Yeah, I have no really negative takeaways at all from honestly the entire roster during this game. But especially Zen. As you said, that 1100 player. She doesn't play like an 1100 though. She definitely plays like she fits in. At that 1250, 1300 mark. I've seen her in the right spots pretty much the entire game. She's been there. She knows where to be. They play well as a team. Is Chunk gonna try another one on target? But I also do want to comment a little bit on Chunk. As another one almost goes in there. But I feel like Chunklay's playing extremely poised, Rockman. I feel like this is really helping this team. Something I say to my guys is like, you can play how you want to play, but if your car language is easy to read and what you're trying to do is easy to tell what you want to do, then it just makes playing with you like I said that much easier. And I feel like Chunk's doing a great job, like I said, leading this team. He's getting the passes, he's getting the reads, he's getting 50s, and it's just making it easy for his team.
Yeah, no, and that's what we wanted to see. He didn't really have a great performance in that game number 1, but you see him at the top of the scoreboard here in a game number 2, able to bring that one back. And now Genesis find themselves in a tied series, and just a really great performance for them. I mean, 14-3 in the shot department. I mean, if you would have told me immediately after you watched that first game, someone is gonna have 14 shots, someone is gonna have 3, I do not think I would have said that it would have been Genesis.
Yeah, likewise. And you said the exact same thing I was going to say is, you look at the score line and the goals, right? 5-0. But yeah, like I said, take a look at those shots. Kiwis being held to 3 shots. And honestly, sometimes it didn't even feel like it. What happened? Do you think did Genesis tighten up on defense? Are they just going absolutely crazy on offense and not giving Kiwis just even a chance to do anything on offense themselves? What changed, do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, Chunk Light, taking 8 shots. I feel like the offense, they were just really finding each other. And, I mean, maybe it was just as simple, merely as survive that first, 20 seconds. I mean, don't put yourself down in a 3-0 hole there. And that's something I look at in my games too. And often what I like to tell my teams that when I'm playing, I'm like, let's come out, let's get this first goal, get that momentum in your favor. And a lot of good things can happen when you're playing ahead. As from behind, is we got a little bit of a awkward situation here, as it looks like we were missing a player on the pitch there. So got to restart from 0-0. But sometimes it's all you need is that confidence there to try to get something going.
Yeah, and something that I'm really curious about though now, is how are Kiwis gonna respond? Are they gonna go back to like what they did during that first game and just try their best to go back and get as much pressure as possible? Although, like I said, it seems like they were doing okay last game. They just weren't able to get offense and shots going. That seemed to be the problem. But yeah, no, are they just gonna keep trying to put it on net and see if that works? Like, how are they? I'm curious to see how they go about adjusting things.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see, as it looks like we have got everything sorted. So we're gonna unpause it here and get back into it from a kickoff with a 3v3 instead of the 2v3 there. So we will get things rolling here for this game number 3. A very important game, really, for both teams to try to bring this one back. You know, Genesis, pretty dominant performance in that game too, but the Kiwis had a pretty dominant performance in that game number 1. And, you know, this is such an important game to put yourselves on that match point.
Yeah, the momentum is going to be everything. Like you said, there's a lot of importance riding on this game. Whoever comes out with this win is going to have that 1-goal lead or 1-game lead on match point, and that is a very comfortable position to be in. And you don't want to be that team that has to make that comeback. Although, you know, it's starting to seem like, based on the way both of these seasons have been playing, Rocket Man, I think we might have been having the right idea with it being a game 5. Don't want to jinx it, though.
Yeah, don't want to jinx it there. But we'll have to see. As this one is going to be sent to the net from Jolly Rogers. I wasn't sure if that was a pinch or if Jolly just came through and sent it home.
Yeah, that is just one of those unfortunate circumstances where you almost score, come within millimeters of scoring, and then unfortunately the ball just goes flying towards your net, and next thing you know, it ends up being in your net instead.
Yeah, no, that one a little tough there for Genesis, but the Kiwis and Jolly Rogers, definitely some great speed, able to get to that one. That's what you expect from, you know, that man right there, who had such a great performance last season, you know, in the novice league. One of the best players. You know, some might have called him the best, but definitely an all-star and one of the best players in novice league last season. And, you know, the Kiwis, I know they were happy to try to grab him and get him, and, you know, he seems like a big catalyst if they're gonna try to win this series.
Yeah, and speaking of catalyst, I'm very curious as to who that catalyst is going to be in this game for honestly both teams. I know 1 goal is scored, but I don't really consider that to be like an outplay goal, just kind of one of those random things that occurred kind of like the, you know, very beginning of the series when, you know, 3 goals were scored in the first few seconds on kickoff goals. But, you know, who's going to be that catalyst for both of these teams? I'm kind of looking at Jolly Rogers here, and I'm looking at Zen, honestly, for Genesis.
Yeah, no, definitely keeping our eyes on her here to see what she can do. A great performance filling in for Skinny thus far. But we're going to have to see if Genesis can keep that one going. And this one, oh no. And, you know, you talked about some craziness earlier, and I think this is what the kids call a novice moment.
Yeah, it's kind of inevitable. I feel like we see it at least once every stream. And, you know, we joke around and call it a novice moment, but the amount of times this has happened to me, even in Challenger, it just is inevitable at this point. You know, you just got to shrug it off. It happens. You got half a game left.
Yeah, no, it does happen. Unfortunately, it happens to us all. We've all been there. Ball just rolls in the net, and we're just helpless to get it out of the way there. And unfortunately for Genesis there, they weren't able to get that one. Is a nice little save there coming through at the last minute. Could lead to a counterattack. Royalty going to send it down. That one off the post, going to double it, but not quite on target. A close opportunity as this one's still hanging around. Jolly is just going to send it in. Genesis not able to clear it out. And the Kiwis starting to get their offense going.
Yeah, it's kind of looking reminiscent of that first game, Rockerman. We're seeing this offensive onslaught yet again from this Kiwis roster. 3-0, still half a game to go, though. It's very much doable for Genesis, but it definitely got to change something and go back to, you know, what was working back in that game, too.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of that pressure, and it seems like the Kiwis are really trying to turn it up a notch here. Is this one an opportunity? Going to throw it off the backboard. That one, a little awkward. A great opportunity for a finish, and Zen going to come through. And Genesis, you know, asked for some offense, and here you go.
Yeah, that's the catalyst that I was talking about, and maybe perhaps another little novice moment out of Kiwi there. I know, like I said, it's going to happen. It's going to bounce off your own backboard. But, hey, the heads up for Zen to stay in the play, to be able to get back to that, and honestly put up a good shot, too, because I think it was Kiwi was still there in the way if she missed the mark on that. So a very good shot from her, and, you know, giving her team the chance to make a comeback.
Oh, is this one is going to ring off the post, but Royalty is going to send it in. Jolly Rogers had the net to put it in, but, you know, he's going to get a little help from a friend there. It's a couple post rings coming on the screen there.
The post giveth and the post taketh. It just depends on the scenario. Unfortunately, though, for Genesis, it's going to, you know, result in a very easy shot opportunity for Kiwis to, you know, give them another 3-goal lead yet again.
Oh, and they're looking to add to it as Royalty comes through. A little bit of a mistouch, and no one from Genesis ready to get up for that one.
Yeah, you know who was ready to get up to that one though? Royalty. He was sniffing that one out as soon as it went off of, I don't know whose car it was on Genesis. Early to that ball, got the entire top half of the net to shoot at. Honestly, a really great goal.
Yeah, no, a great follow. And yeah, this is looking a lot like that game one Kiwis that we saw where they had all that pressure and Genesis just couldn't find a way out of it there. And now as we continue on here in this game number 3, Genesis trying to look to find some momentum. In this one, a miss comes through. Royalty gonna pop it up by one, but I think that might be everyone. Chunk, he's got an open net to shoot at. He's just gonna walk the dog all the way through the park, and he's gonna send it in. And Genesis now down by 3.
You know, I touched on it before, and I just want to highlight it again. Chunk is a very, very patient player, and it works very well. Like, he's very comfortable. You can tell. He literally was waiting, sitting in net, waiting for the shot to come through. It wasn't that great of a shot. Got the save. Noticed that everyone was out of position, and like you said, just had an easy walk in the park with his dog into the back of the net, the opponent's net. And you know, although it's still a 3-goal game, and for this game, and Genesis honestly is, you know, kind of got a miracle if they want to be able to make it back from this one. You know, based on the offensive, you know, onslaught from Kiwis. But, you know, they could be looking forward potentially to next game. And, you know, how do we get this to go to 5?
Yeah, no, just try to build some momentum at the very least. Even if you can't pull back a 3-goal deficit here, you know, what can you do to give yourself some momentum? And Genesis found one there, trying to look for a little bit more here, but the Kiwis, they're also looking for more, and it's Jolly Rogers harassing Royalty. Gonna find another goal right there, just stuff on the stat sheet right now.
That was a great pass by Kiwi over to Royalty. Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the back of the post there, you know, with Jolly Rogers if he got a bump or something. But yeah, it was a free net for Royalty, and you know, the Kiwis just kind of making this one out to be a clinic.
Yeah, no, the offense has looked really good here for the Kiwis. So looking to put themselves on match point. 6-2 lead now. 30 seconds remaining. Genesis gonna try to get this one out of their zone here. The ball's still floating. A big demo comes through, and who else but Royalty just putting in all the goals right here in this game number 3.
Yeah, another one, 7-2. At this point, it doesn't even matter what the scoreline is. It seems like Kiwis are going to, you know, come out with this get game 4-1, put them on match point. Very important match point, as we said earlier, but that doesn't really necessarily tell the entire story. I feel like Genesis again had, you know, they had the foundation. They just weren't able to, you know, score as much as they wanted. And it seems like they kind of got awkward and let the Kiwis make them awkward instead of what we saw in game 2, them take over. As another goal coming out, we're going to where do we go at 8-2? I can't remember.
I think it's Liechtenstein is where we go for A2. or maybe that's Constantinople. I can't remember. We'll have to reach out to C Money to get a confirmation on that one. But it's one of the two. Liechtenstein, Constantinople. The result is the same here. It's going to result in a Kiwis game 3 victory. 8-2 is the score, as they're trying to find one more, but it's going to bounce the ground before that one happens. And the Kiwis going to hold on. And yeah, they definitely turned the tables there from that last game, Mealy. Just putting up an absurd amount of shots, an absurd amount of goals, 2 players with a hat trick. That's going to lead to some very, very good things.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and word on the street is the flight ticket was actually headed to Barcelona, so we did get confirmation on where we were going. But it doesn't matter. The return flight has already happened. We're back in with the Nemesis Gaming League here. Hey, that's a throwaway game, you know, if you're Genesis, right? Like, that never happened. Said it, you know, at the end of game 1. Throw that one away. You know, it's whatever. It happens. You're going to lose some. You're going to lose some bad. Like, it's going to happen no matter, you know, what league you're in, no matter what the roster is. Even if Skinny Legend was here, right, that could have went the exact same way. It's how do you recover from this, right? How do you go forward? You know, do you know, just get really upset about this loss and, you know, throw in the towel and say, oh, you know, we're done for? Or do you say, hey, you know what? Like, let's get back to, you know, doing what we know worked, and let's go and let's actually, like, kick their butt this time again.
Yeah, no, and hopefully, you know, Chunk Light, the captain, can kind of lead that team and, you know, let them know, like, hey, let's come get this one. Like you said, you know, let's battle back here. We know we can put the pressure on. And let's see if we can bring it back here and force that game number 5 that we all want to see here, as they're starting out here with a big dunk. Oh no, it's gonna go off the post. Oh my goodness, a Forbidden Temple moment. The chaos has already started here, really, only a couple seconds in.
Yeah, apparently Genesis ran out of kickoff goals after the one that they had a couple of games ago. They're not allowed to have them. Only the Kiwis can have the kickoff goals. But you know what? Again, don't get discouraged. It's all right. You know, not every ball that you shoot is going to go in. You know, stuff happens. Like I said, it is Forbidden Temple. You're going to have the moments. Just stay calm, stay cool, stay collected, and it's going to work out for you.
Oh, is this one could be a big opportunity here for Genesis, but a nice demo comes through by Royalty. Gonna take out the shooter there as Mystic gonna send this one off the backboard. Zen trying to get up to it, but oh my goodness, Jolly Rogers with a massive dunk over two.
Yeah, that could be the benefit of using a Merc hitbox. Who knows? Just getting as wide as he could, and it mattered apparently. As you know, that 50 just goes into the top left corner of the net. Unfortunate if you're Genesis. Obviously, happy if you're a Kiwis fan, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, not the end of the world here. Genesis still got a lot of time left in this game, number 4, but you gotta be careful. There's that one. It's going towards net. Jolly Roger is gonna come through. Another one gonna ring off the post there. This Kiwi is trying to get that one out there. This one will be blocked up. Royalty gonna try to stick with it. T7 pushing down the midfield. Zen gonna try to find that touch. Gonna pop it up high. The ball's still in the Genesis end. Jolly used a lot of boost, throwing that one towards the net. Chunk trying to get up to that one. Another big dunk comes through. The Kiwis really putting on their pressure right now. And Mystic can leave that one for Royalty. And oh my goodness, Royalty with the fake. Just snatching some axles.
Yeah, the Grinch comes back again, unfortunately, to steal this one from Royalty. And his highlight goal. Yeah, what a fake from Royalty. Honestly, I feel like someone should clip that one. That was kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was a great play right there by Royalty, able to fake that one out, get it past the last defense on Genesis, and now a 2-0 lead here. And Genesis got to try to find a way to come back here. Chunk trying to drop that one down. T7 trying to get big body there. No, can't quite put it on target. So close for Genesis there, but they can't quite put that one in the net. They're going to need some of those opportunities to go their way as this ball's dropping down. It can be sent away to the corner here. So we got 3 minutes remaining. Zen trying to find that one. It's right to Chunk though. Chunk gonna take his time, but Jolly Rogers is right on top of his former teammate there. This one off the corner. This out in the midfield. Dangerous ball, and Mystic is gonna come through, sending it home, and the Kiwis up by 3.
Yeah, it's that 1-2-3 punch from the Kiwis. Like I said, Jolly the beat over the first guy. Then Royalty getting the beat in the corner. Kiwi with a great finish as well. This is what this Kiwis roster has been doing from the start. They let up the gas a little bit in game 2, but they haven't let up the gas at all. As we see, speaking of game 1, yet another kickoff goal coming for the Kiwis.
Yeah, they are going to find another one in. That one's just a little bit awkward there over the top. Royalty going full speed on that one. And the kickoff works out in the Kiwis' favor there. Going to be able to send that one in the back of the net. 4-0 now. And Genesis really going to need a miracle if they're going to want to bring this one back here, but it is Forbidden Temple, where anything can happen here. Chunk late, trying to find that 50, going to push it off the corner, going to find another one. Can they get it across middle? This one rolling across the net, but not going to go on target. T7 going to take this one, going to be bumped off, but it's still in Kiwi's end there. Genesis trying to keep it around to see if they can turn back that offense that we saw in that game number 2. This Chunk gonna send it by 1. This ball out. Mystic get a lock where Chunk trying to avoid a demo. Goes off the wall there. T7 gonna put this one up high. Could be a big opportunity. Genesis not quite ready to go. Zen now trying to get to this one. It's gonna be pinched across. Royalty, he can't connect to that one. Chunk gonna push it off the corner. Genesis trying to get this one. It's floating. That one gonna be saved away there. A little bit awkward on the Kiwis end, but they are gonna get it out for now. This one's sent back in, but Royalty just gonna push it back, and under 2 minutes now, Mealy in this one, and Genesis trying to go all out here as, hold on, wait a minute, Chunk has an opportunity, gonna throw it off the backboard. Can we see a follow? No, it's not gonna go right there, and Genesis really in a tough spot now.
Yeah, down 4 with a minute and a half left to go. Like I said, it might take a miracle to get this one in the win column, but his Royalty is gonna. I would personally maybe say the dagger. I don't know. Some others might not. Anything can happen, like you said. But 5-0 with a minute and a half to go. That is tough to come back.
Yeah, and good speed from Royalty right over the top of the last defender there, and now 5-0 here. Looking like the Kiwis gonna try to close this one out. Genesis, let's see if they can find something here. at the end. Mystic off the sidewall. Could be a big opportunity here. This one sent to net by Chunk, but Royalty gonna push that one away. As then gonna send it off the sidewall. Mystic finds the touch. Jolly gonna push it down back in Genesis end. Genesis trying to clear this one across there. A big dunk comes through. Royalty, he's coming as well there, and he's gonna send another one in. Another hat trick in this series. Royalty gonna make it a 6-0 margin.
Yeah, what an angle and what a shot placement by Royalty. Putting it in the same side that he jumped from, that is not easy to do in any level, to be completely honest. Magnificent shot from Royalty. And I did want to like mention this as well earlier. At the beginning of this game, and actually not too much longer after that as well, scoreline was like 1-0 or 2-0. Genesis had 2 opportunities with the ball on the goal line, and that really could have been the difference because Zen can get the ball off the backboard. It's a great pass and a great play from Genesis.
And maybe finding something here at the end. Zen taking it to the backboard, gonna find the double tap, and T7 just comes through and puts it in. And hey, maybe a little momentum there. It might not be enough to bring back this this game, but a nice little passing play there from the lowest MMR player in Novice. Is this one T7's gonna try to find one? Can they turn it back? It's gonna be popped up the midfield. Opportunity again, ringing off the post. Gonna be blocked away. The Kiwis gonna clear it out. Genesis could not buy that one. Another really close one that they just couldn't get through the net here. Now the Kiwis trying to answer on this one. Gonna ring again off the post. That one sent out by Jolly Zen. Gonna block this one up high. A little bit awkward. Mystic gonna find that touch there. This one hanging around. T7 gonna look to try to stay with this one. Trying to dribble. Try to find that 50, but couldn't quite get it out. Is down to the final 10 seconds here of this game, and the Kiwis gonna come through here with a big win. Gonna improve to 2-0, and just a really good offensive performance all the way around. As they're trying to find one more for the road there, but the Kiwis just an excellent performance tonight.
Yeah, I think Genesis may have felt the missing of Skinny Legend just a little bit. You know, would it have mattered? Who knows? But I do want to like mention as well, especially because there are 2, new players to Nemesis Gaming League Rockman that you said earlier. But Zenzen and T7, I'm impressed. They are very, very good players. And like I said, Zenzen came in and you said she was an 1100, I believe, or a league minimum, if you will. Did not play like it at all. I mean, we saw that double tap. That was a really, really good pass. A lot of great decision making, and a lot of good rotational decisions were made as well from her. And honestly, like I'm very, very impressed. And T7 as well. I saw a lot of great challenges, a lot of good shot opportunities, that come through. Honestly, I think you found a couple of really good players there.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how they performed. Like you mentioned, missing the top MMR player did hurt him a little bit, but they still played well. And it's nothing to discount the Kiwis because they played fantastic with their offense for sure. And they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Novice League as as we continue on into the season number 13. But with that being said, we are going to be heading to a break here. But when we come back, I mean, we had some great Novice League action to kick things off for the first one. When we come back, we're going to have some more Novice League action heading your guys' way here. We have the Crows taking on Frost. Another couple teams that are looking to make some big moves here early on in the season. So, yeah, we're going to head to that short break. But when we come back, we'll see you guys here to close out the night with another Novice League matchup.